You know, I was in the investigation sector when it was evacuated. Well, not there. I was in executive because they have the best snap. You may think they're all the same because of that plain white packaging, but there's a difference. You know those thick ruffled potato chips? They're my favorite. All the machines outside executive carry those flimsy little thin chips. They have no texture. I may as well eat cardboard.
He's
anyway,
really
I get back to the
tackling the
elevator
important
and they tell me the
issues,
sector is being evacuated. They wouldn't even let me go back in for my stuff. Can you believe that? I worked at that desk for years. I had photos on it. My favorite stapler, one of those good ones that could staple a 50-page report, no problem. A little cash, and some, personal recordings. But, yeah, they locked the whole area down tight, no one in or out, and then they march us all back to executive to interview everyone. I wasn't even there when it happened, and they were asking me if I noticed anything suspicious, if I saw anyone tampering with the containment cell and so on. Well, the only thing they learned was I prefer the ruffled chips to the non-ruffled ones. Better mouthfeel, like I said before. And then, after 3 hours of questions, they recommend we all go for trauma counseling. I was like, no thanks, I have my own therapist. I know I could use the word therapist and save a few bucks, but I worry they're gonna put anything I say in a file somewhere. A bit paranoid, I know, but I work for a secret government organization, so yeah. I stopped going a few years back. To my therapist, I mean. She said that a lot of my issues stemmed from a negative outlook. Of course, I can't tell her anything about what I do, so I just had to sit there and nod. I kept waiting for that big aha moment. You know, where I realized that my need for approval stems from my dad or something? Turns out therapy doesn't work like that, so I stopped going. TV really gives you a skewed understanding of these kind of things. She did help me realize that I'm processing stress in an unhealthy way. I try not to carry all that around with me anymore, but it does stack up. Hard to just say no thank you to the anxiety buzzing in your head. One really helpful thing she had me do was find a creative outlet. I started doing some experimental music/poetry that I think was really ahead of its time. This was years back. I'm cooking up some pretty new sounds these days. Think My Bleeding Clock meets Sylvia Plath.
I
Do
am
you play any
so
instruments?
curious,
I
yet
can see you
so
being
concerned.
a guitarist, maybe a bassist. It's funny, I played the tuba in a high school band. My favorite was In the Hall of the Mountain King. Tuba didn't get a lot of spotlight in most of the songs Mrs. McKinley chose, but Mountain King was my time to shine. Bum 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 bum. Ah, classic. I've moved on to less mainstream instruments now, but the tuba will always be a part of me. What were we talking about before? Right, the evacuation. Yeah, I heard afterward that the Hartman specimen had gotten loose and killed some staff. They had me digitizing records in some dark corner of the sector, so I didn't know a whole lot about the Braight-Fall's investigation at the time. It's a strange case. Most AWEs are one and done, but Braight-Fall's has pretty regular flare-ups. 3 incidents since 1970 when we first started tracking it. I got really interested when I heard Alan Wake was involved with the latest occurrence. I'm a huge Wake fan. I love the Alex Casey novels. That over-the-top hard-boiled detective thing is right up my alley. They're making a movie of the series.
It
But the
can't be
guy
a
who plays
coincidence
Casey
that I
doesn't
saw
have
him in a
enough
motel.
gravel in his voice, you know? I
Was he
remember being
drawn
so
here by the
pissed
investigation?
when Wake killed off Casey in the books. It's not a huge surprise, though. Wake sounded like a bit of a dick. Drank too much, fought paparazzi. The tabloids even said he was an abusive husband, so yeah, troubled artist and all that. Apparently, there were chapters of an unfinished manuscript floating around after Wake disappeared. People say they're cursed, which is a very discriminatory term against altered materials, by the way. The forums all call the unfinished book Departure because Wake kept saying it would be a departure from his previous work. I found some pages that are supposedly the real deal on the internet. It's pretty dark stuff. He was going full horror, which makes sense since he used to write for Night Springs, but I would have preferred if he did something a little lighter. I've always said Wake had a great instinct for humor. Hey, did you know we own Night Springs? Yeah, the Bureau bought the rights after the original series ended. I've sent some story suggestions to the production team, but apparently they are not accepting pitches at this time. Typical. I'd be a great addition to their team, right? Huh. I didn't see you nod. Is this thing not on? Let me check.
It's definitely on.
Okay. Oh, the wire's down here. Huh. Oh, looks like it should be working. Hello? If you can hear me, shoot something. That was inconclusive. You shoot so often, it's hard to know when it's intentional. There also could be a delay on this video feed. Maybe the system just needs a reboot. This is a good opportunity to use a restroom anyway. Stay safe, ma'am. You guys are going to escort me, right? Okay, good.
Was this what you had in mind? Christ. Department can't do all this.
Reminder, the law of three also applies to all faucets within the oldest house. Be mindful and don't cause any aquatic misconduct. Thank you for your attention.
other power core.
hideous. He tore the security door into the Braight-Fall's AWE site wide open. He was so ugly, like, wow, I got a good look at him, and Christ, he does not look like he used to. The hiss must have messed him up or something. He looks like a bar rag that's been twisted by the world's strongest man, or a monster from some 80s horror movie. You know, back when it was all practical effects? Ugh, nasty.
Real
Did you say
professional,
something?
Winston.
Remember, I can't hear you. Never mind, just go after Hartman. Oh, so disgusting.